Hi, welcome to Rajal 9. As we all know, agile environment is becoming important for any of the organization to improve. At the same time, integrating agile with DevOps is something essentially important because agile is a way of approach where uh, agile is a methodology or a process, I can say, where whatever the iterations we want to make, these iterations can be developed in a very shorter time. That's what generally agile majorly of use for. DevOps is an environment by itself where both implementation as well as operations happens on a single line. In this regard, adopting agile and as well as DevOps environment in any of the development now and then is becoming mandatory now because this is in order to reach the satisfaction level of the customers what they were expecting. So incorporating agile and DevOps environment is essentially important. In today's video, I am going to explain what are the multiple actions to be taken or what are the steps which normally we need to perform to achieve the digital transformation by implementing agile DevOps environment in any of the organization. There are few steps which we need to understand, which I am going to discuss now. The first one is to measure the business impact. This is the first one. So when we are talking about measuring of business impact, wherein we need to understand the internal efficiency as well as productivity metrics, which are to be used to gauge the effects of agile and DevOps environment. While these are something valid and as well as important indicators where we need to identify a true business impacts, which are to be measured by the external factors like customer satisfaction, customer experiences, growth, business growth, right? And all that. So these are all the areas where we need to identify and measure the business impact because when there is a transformation, we were moving towards agile digital point of view by combining agile and DevOps environment. Measuring the business impact is one of the key element which we have to be focused more on. Whereas the second one about address skills followed by the gaps which are early because as far as the successful agile and DevOps deployment, which majorly specifies the kind of skills and experiences and all, where the kind of people who are involving in it should able in a position to understand the kind of practice and tools that are required. And those are to be demonstrated, followed by the kind of capacity which is to be adaptable, flexible, and as well as open to new ways of working. All this. So this will also help us to accelerate the necessary cultural change, whatever is required here. At the same time, the third point, make sure agile be everywhere. Okay, this is also right. So wherein be agile be everywhere, where IT and as well as software development when we are working, usually try to impart the agile practices, wherein to understand the kind of functions relating to the marketing, sales, or supports and all, where this true payoffs and as well as implementations has to be formed in terms of the delivering continuous customer value, all that. So being a part of agile everywhere is one of the key element which we have to be focused more on. The fourth point is to eliminate DevOps silos eliminate DevOps goes. Where DevOps use continues to grow, it is usually the one which will be implemented in pockets of the organization, which majorly leads to little cross-fertilization of knowledge and best practices. To be truly effective, we need to understand the kind of DevOps mindset which must be embedded in the culture of any IT functionalities, all that. So, next one about no compromising on security. No compromising on security. This is one thing. As Agile and DevOps environment, which will be helpful to improve velocity, wherein to deprioritize the security in favor of time to market, wherein we have to integrate security considerations, which are majorly useful for the development process from the mindset of it. The sixth one next about optimize investments. This is also one of the key elements where budgetary constraints are the common barriers to mature Agile and DevOps adoption. But the kind of approaches significantly reduces the IT cost, wherein when we are trying to impart this Agile and DevOps adoption. So this budget and as well as IT cost can be reduced once they are in place. Wherein taking a portfolio management approach, wherein to assess and prioritize where to spend your budget, it helps us to free up the resources for Agile and DevOps deployment, all that. Next point is to remember the big picture of when integration required. Okay, this is also something essentially. This is essentially needed. The kind of tools process needs to be enabled, right? So Agile and DevOps, wherein we need to understand the kind of aim, what is that we need to have to deliver the customer value, right? So by taking the whole value chain approaches, which are essential as it is bringing the necessary teams together to prioritize what needs to be built the right time, things at the right time, all that. So these are the 7 key elements which we have to be considered whenever we want to have an idea over achieving the digital transformation by implementing Agile DevOps environment. So these are the 7 different steps, like measuring the business impact is essentially important, addressing the skills followed by the gaps early. And we must ensure that Agile should be everywhere, eliminate DevOps silos, right? So no compromising on the security, optimizing investments. Remember the bigger picture of when integration requires and taken place. So these are the 7 action steps which has to be taken to achieve the digital transformation in any of the application development by implementing Agile and DevOps environment is all about. So this is all about this video. If you have any questions in regard to this Agile and DevOps integration or Agile DevOps environment, all that, please reach out to the contact details, which will be posted in below to this video. Thank you.